So I think we're good for this pass, but the next pass it's going to get hung up at the end of the row. In the meantime, we could jump back in here and let's do a little bit more compacting. How are we doing with this? We are 55% done. I'll try and cut it. It's not happy, is it? Might be able to come at it from the other side. If I can get this up to sort of 80%, it's going to take a lot less time to compact it as we bring truckloads in. Ooh. Oh, don't tell me I messed up big time. Potentially we've messed up big time, guys. Oh no. Yay. Good. Go around that way again. Yes, that can be a problem in ATS and ETS. You kind of want to take it easy at the beginning. And the earning potential in ATS eventually isn't quite as great as it is in ETS, because there are so many more cities in ETS that you can buy garages at. It doesn't take long until you've got 30-40 garages and 5 drivers in each, and you're pretty much bringing in enough money that every city you visit you can buy the garage there, upgrade it to 5 slots, buy 5 cheap trucks and 5 drivers, and then go to the next city. And by the time you reach that city, you can do it again with no loans. ATS not quite as easy because there aren't quite as many cities. Also, the other thing to do with your drivers is force them to learn long distance driving early on. I usually go to about 4 pips in long distance driving and then go for balanced, so they'll pick up all the other skills as well. But you tend to make more money from a long distance drive. So if you can get your working drivers eligible for long distance, then they will make you money, more money, not necessarily quicker because they have to drive farther, but their trips are earning them more money. But yeah, early on you are paying off your loans. And it doesn't hurt to make a mess of it. I think very early on in Farm Sim 17 I got the "You Went Bankrupt" achievement, because I did completely screw up, borrowed way too much money, couldn't pay off the interest, and ended up at zero very, very quickly. And then as soon as you go negative, I just decided, yeah, I kind of screwed this one up. Threw the game away, but got the achievement in the meantime. Okay, this is becoming a little bit easier to drive through. So a little hump there. I must admit, I didn't realise when I got this tractor that it was an all-wheel steer, which does make it quite agile for its size. Although when I'm doing field work, I'll tend to lock the rear wheels, because it can outturn the equipment I have, and so you can't take full advantage of the turn radius it's capable of when it's towing something. But it does find a job during harvesting, when I've got one heavy tractor on the auger wagon supporting the harvester, and then I need two other heavy tractors running around with the cultivator or plough and seeder. How are we doing with this? Oh, we're nearly up to 80%. Hopefully this pass. Nope. Yes. Probably run down the left side with the next load. Doing? Oh, it's done. Okay, I'll run back down the other end and we'll call it quits for now on this job. Okay, that one's done. Still not 8 o'clock, so no sleep. Well, we probably can sleep because it's after sunset. That's 6:98. There's some more of these. Ah, cedar's done, except it's probably not. Oof. There's one there. One on the top row. Come on, let's go. For the longest time I didn't actually realise that these forks were auto-load. Not that I've been particularly worried about auto-loading bale forks. However, after dealing with, how many is it? 5,000 bales. I'm kind of thankful I have auto-load bale forks. You kind of get to the point where, you know, it's kind of cheating, but at the end of the day, I think I've done enough non-auto load stuff to be able to treat myself just to move the story along. So I'm going to park that up there as well. Turn the lights off, turn the engine on, off, and find the Class Axion. That one there. And see if we can figure out how much of this field needs to be planted still. worker actually didn't do too badly here. Didn't do brilliant, but they tend to do sufficient that you can get a job for the most part done. And just come back and finish off the bits they missed. I think I've probably caught all the edges now. Certainly looks that way. Oh no, a little bit there. Potentially another bit there. Barely. And we'll lift that up and run to the other end of the field. Okay, to this end. I'm quite fortunate to have equipment this wide, because I actually started with 6 metre equipment and one of these class Axions, and discovered the class Axion couldn't turn around in 6 metres. So it was kind of tough. I expanded it out to 12 metres and it does very well in 12 metres. So we'll fold that up. I'll have to wait for it to fold. Yep, there's that too on the truckers. We can get in. Cab. So this field is done and planted. We may come back and deal with it later, although I don't think this is going to be ready until spring. So we can close that gate for now. We can take this down to back to the cow farm again. So I also heard suggest that in the truck sims you should rent or you should hire the cheapest drivers. Go to the bottom of the list, not the top of the list. Now the cheaper drivers do not have skills when they start out, but their salary is lower than the better trained drivers, and so you'll make money on the jobs they're doing as opposed to potentially losing money. Now I haven't tried that, but there may be some merit to it. Okay, we'll park this to the south side of this farm unit. Okay, so what haven't we done so far? What's that in there? Oh, that's the slurry tank stuff. Okay, gonna need that later too. So, for the most part, tractors are all parked. We have 7 eggs to collect. I'm not going to do that now. Mowed down over 600 trees. And food's getting low on some of the animals, so we're going to have to do that first thing tomorrow morning. But jump out the tractor and skip to dawn 8:23 or morning 6 o'clock. Gonna go morning and hope I don't regret it. It's morning. We lost a little bit of cash. It's going to rain, but not right now. How's the cow food? And the pig food. Okay. Animals are doing fine for now. I should get to starting the harvest up. Because if we don't get that started, we may get a delay due to wet crops. That would not be a good thing. Where's my truck? There. So, we're going to be doing some nighttime harvesting for a bit. Or at least starting some nighttime harvesting. Probably won't go too much longer today. So there is a I don't know. Have to see. I was going to say there is a chance that the oilseed radish we planted might break, but I'm going to bet no, and that we're going to be doing these 2 cornfields and the 2 soybean fields in spring. Now normally I like to get most of my cereal crops planted by the end of fall, because that way they're all ready to harvest late summer next year. Oh, stop. I'm an idiot again. Okay. That's the other thing I like about this tipper, is it works on the joystick rather than on a keyboard. you can actually tip it as high as you want. Okay. Sounds like the engine's not running. It's not. And off he goes again. So if we're lucky, the rain forecast won't come up until 9 o'clock, and the rain possibly won't happen until midday. Now this isn't a fast job. It would be a lot faster in multiplayer. But I'm thinking we can probably get away with a lot of this through... I don't recall how many hours we've been running so far. I'm hoping we can finish this field before the rain comes. No, 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 no. Keep doing that. Turn off the worker. Oh, come on, seriously? I was gone for a second. You turn the engine off. Yes. Yes, because of the way I'm doing this farm, because it's now established. I mean, first year it was a challenge, but because you can't grow much of anything over winter, I'm putting down oilseed radish, which is worth a stage of fertilization. I'm using slurry or digestate or manure when I'm ploughing the oilseed radish in to get a second stage. So when I'm planting, when I'm using the planter, which I only plant corn for forage, or occasionally I'll use it for soybeans as well, I get a stage of oh crap. I'll get a stage of fertilization as I'm planting. Otherwise I will specifically have to go out and get a third stage of fertilization on the cereal crops. However, I've got the entirety of spring and all of summer to get out there and actually put the fertilizer in. So, like I said, you know, with seasons, you've got ample time to get a lot of stuff done. If you look at the state of most of my fields right this minute, considering it is the end of fall, we have oilseed radish in all of these fields. All of these don't have oilseed radish in. But oh, sorry, that's not mine. But these are all cultivated and already at 2 stages of fertilization. Oh, crud. I need to get out and fertilize this field and this field before end of day. Now this field, this field, and this field all have oilseed radish in them. They haven't been ploughed in yet. Same with these two. But we've just harvested these two. And this one, I think, maybe this one. So they'll be at 2 stages come spring when I start preparing the ground in those fields for planting. That's why I end up at this time of year with so much silage at the BGA, because I don't want to sell it because I want the digestate, and I can't. 800,000 litres of digestate is not sufficient to fertilise every single one of my fields. I have to supplement it with either slurry from the cows and pigs, or manure from the cows and pigs. So I try to stockpile silage at the BGA right now, so that when we get into the fertilizing stage, I can replenish the tanks really quickly. So that's why I'm keeping an eye on them now, because we've already gone through a couple of the fields and put digestate down on them. And so this load of silage is specifically for replenishing the tank so that it's back up to 100%, because we haven't finished working all those fields. And we've still got about 6 more to fertilise. Run. I win. Oops. Should probably close the gate. If I didn't have any spare silage sitting in the BGA, I would quickly deplete the digestate tank and run out of natural fertilizer. And because some of these fields we're not going to be ploughing in the oilseed radish until sort of the last 2 days of spring, when I want to plant the soybeans and the corn. The silage that's currently in the bunker, or the chaff that's currently in the bunker at the moment, will quite probably be used for replenishing that particular supply.